Hello makers, and welcome to Making with Ms. Dobras. Happy New Year, happy 2021. We all made it through 2020. I think we can all agree it was a pretty crazy year, and I think it's going to continue to be a little crazy. I never thought I'd be introducing myself to my class on a video, but here I am. All right, let's get to it. My name is Ms. Dobras, and I am your making art and design teacher. And I know most of you because I've taught you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you in person. But I just wanted to give an extra special welcome to any new students out there who I haven't met, and I look forward to meeting you, even if it's over Zoom. In this video today, I'm going to introduce how making is going to work virtually, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the materials and the projects we do, and then ultimately I'm going to tell you what I hope that you get out of this class. Okay? So let's get to it. If you were starting my class at school at Lighthouse, when you came in the door, you would get a high five or a fist bump or maybe a hug. So I'm going to start that out just how I do in a normal class. I'm going to give you a big air hug to all my friends. I miss you. And I can't wait to give you a real hug in person. All right? And then we usually start my class with a mindful moment. And we take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And I've always been teaching mindfulness, but I have to say, mindfulness is really important this year when there's so many crazy and unpredictable things going on. So I encourage you to practice mindfulness, not only in making, but every day and any time that you're stressed out or frustrated. So first off, logistics. You are going to get 3 making projects each week, and it's going to come in the form of a video like this, and I'm going to post them on Altitude on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then every other Friday, I'm just going to post a Fun Friday video, and it's going to be drawing challenges. And that's something we've been doing this year that's been really fun. You can see some of them back here, but we've been learning to draw all kinds of fun stuff, so I know you're going to like that. And then all my videos are also posted on my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel is called Making with Ms. Dobras, and you can go to it at any time and get all the videos, but also all the videos will be on Altitude, okay? Let's talk materials. So, I'm going to do all my projects with low materials, which means not a lot of materials, and I'm going to try to use recycled materials. So I'm going to let you know some things that I would love for you to try to get if you can, or try to find in your house. So to start with, if you can get some Elmer's glue or white glue, that would be great. Also, a couple glue sticks. You'll need a couple glue sticks. Of course, you're going to need some scissors, and of course, you're going to need some kind of colored pencils or markers or crayons. And then we're going to rely a lot on paper. So if there's any way you can get a bunch of paper, and white paper is fine, you can use recycled paper. This is just paper that you get in a printer, that you put in a printer. And then if you can get any kind of colorful paper, that can be really fun. But if all you have is white paper too, we can decorate that. So we can work with whatever you have. And then I often like to use Post-its. These are Post-its that are like little memo Post-its that don't have sticky on them, and those can be fun for projects. But I can also show you how to cut down paper and get small square paper. And then finally, we're going to rely on things like recycled materials that you can find at home, like cardboard and toilet paper rolls and popsicle sticks. So if you have a popsicle, save that popsicle stick, and cardboard. And I like to use cardboard from cereal boxes because it's easy to cut. So if you ever have a cereal box or a box of crackers or something, save a little of that cardboard. And then I would just save anything interesting you think you might be able to use for an art project. And you might want to make a little box or a bag to put your stuff in so that you can use it during making time. Okay, and then finally, I am going to do some art supply bags that you can pick up at Lighthouse, and that will come out in a few weeks, okay? But for now, let's get to making, all right? Making is not a traditional art class. It is a class that is focused on design challenges, and I personally focus on teaching maker mindset and design thinking. And so I'm going to introduce some vocabulary to you, and I hope you get used to this vocabulary as we make our way through all these making projects. So number 1, I really hope that you embrace challenges. See challenges as a good thing. Trying to figure things out and problem solve is a good thing and a fun thing. All right, that's number one. And then there's a lot of prototyping that happens in making. And prototyping is when you try out lots of different ideas. And a lot of them don't work. So failure and making mistakes is a huge part of making. You have to make mistakes to learn in making. If you don't make mistakes, you're probably not learning. If you get something immediately, really quick, perfectly the first time, it's probably not that challenging for you. So you're probably not learning that much. So while making is very fun, there's a lot of challenges in there. And you're going to make lots of mistakes, and you're going to need to troubleshoot. So troubleshoot is when you have problems and things aren't working out. You have to tinker with them and play around with them and figure out what's not working, and then you have to do it again. And then iteration. Iteration is when you perform a task over and over again. And we do this in my class a lot because the first time you make something, it usually doesn't come out great. So you have to do it again and again and again. And while you're doing it again, usually the quality of your work improves. And so we use iteration to learn our skills, but also to improve the quality of our work. And then finally, persistence. Makers are persistent. We do not give up. And that's why we always chant in my classroom. We say, we are makers. We don't give up. We make big messes, but we clean them up. We do make big messes, and we do clean them up. All right, but makers have to be persistent. You have to keep on trying. And this is where mindfulness comes in for me, because when you're challenged to do something, oftentimes it can be really frustrating if you're trying to make something and it doesn't work out, or you're trying to draw something and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. So that can be frustrating, and I know that. Frustration is a part of making. And so I really encourage you to deal with frustration in positive and healthy ways. And that's where mindfulness comes in. Recognize when you're getting frustrated. Of course, there's times to ask for help. And of course, there's times to take breaks. And there's times to take a deep breath. Maybe come back to it the next day. But the persistence piece is that you do come back to it. You try again. And if you do get help from someone, hopefully you're not having that person do the work for you. It's really important to try to do the work yourself, because that's when you're learning. You're learning when you're actually doing the work. And I always say, making is thinking with your hands. So let's see what we're going to do. It's really hard to describe making, so the best way to describe making is to show you some making projects, and even better is to make them. We do a lot with 2D and 3D shapes. We're going to be doing a lot of drawing too. We were making these right when the schools closed with the pandemic, but you guys will each get some templates to make these, and you'll each be able to make one of these little pyramids out of tetrahedrons. You will also be building out shapes, and that's where the popsicle sticks come in. I like to build out all kinds of shapes in popsicle sticks. This is the start of an icosahedron. You'll probably learn the names of lots of geometric shapes. One of the design challenges we'll be doing is a marble run. And the thing I love about this design challenge is that even though everyone's making a marble run, they all come out different because we all use different materials. And that is what I mean by a making project. We all start with the same idea or inspiration, but how we get to the end and what it looks like is different. So we'll be making this, and some of you have made some of these projects before, but just because you've made it once doesn't mean you can't do it again, and you can do it in all different kinds of ways. We're also going to be relying on lots of different recycled materials. I love to use toilet paper rolls to make designs and 3D sculptures. These are just toilet paper rolls, and back here there's a design with toilet paper roll. And I do a lot with paper. Right back here, this is with paper, paper weaving, and of course, my favorite, origami. Of course we're gonna do origami. We always do origami. And we're gonna build up to making things like this: tetrahedron, a cube, an octahedron. And you don't need fancy origami paper to do this. This is not fancy origami paper. This is just regular paper. So whenever I'm teaching origami, I will always do it with just regular paper or recycled paper, because I want to show you that you don't need fancy origami paper to make cool stuff, okay? This is just made with Post-its. All right, and then finally we're going to do some fiber arts. And fiber arts are anything that is using yarn or string or thread or sewing, knitting, knots. So this is a really common weaving project. It's called a God's Eye or Ojos del Dios. And this is a weaving project that we're going to do as well. And some of you have done this before, but it's when you make a loom out of cardboard, and then you weave on your loom, and then if you want to, at the end, you take it off and you get something like this. Here's another design challenge that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing spinning tops using all kinds of recycled materials that you can find at home. So I have 3 different styles of spinning tops that you can make, and depending on what you can find at home, I can show you all kinds of ways to make spinning tops. We're also going to be making catapults where you can launch things, and those are really fun. Although safety first, we have to be careful with what we launch. All right, here's another project. I love using simple materials like paper to do really cool stuff. And I've always been a fan of paper projects. We're going to go with old-fashioned, making some paper airplanes. And then we're going to learn how to make some less traditional paper gliders. And we're going to start to think like designers and figure out, how do people make things that fly? All right, and then of course we're going to do some drawing challenges, and that's been really fun. I like to do them with my own daughters. We've been having a lot of fun with them, but let me tell you, they can be very frustrating. Sometimes you're drawing and you want it to come out perfect, and it doesn't. It takes time. You got to practice and practice and practice. Where's my daughters? This is my daughters. She was just doing Baby Yoda with me the other day. I want to introduce to you my daughters as well, because they're at home with me. They're on virtual school. We're all in this together. They'll come in and interrupt sometimes. This is Ziggy.
Hi.
Want to say hi?
Hi.
What grade are you in?
5th.
5th grade. Ziggy's in 5th grade. Rosie, come here. All right, and that's my daughter Rosie in the back. She's in 7th grade, and that's our cute little chihuahua named Coco. And we have a puppy too, who's not here right now, but she's in a lot of the videos. And we got her during the pandemic, and she's very cute.
Drop the tape.
Can we try to get her? Okay.
So this.
All right, so this is our puppy. Okay. And that's our puppy, Sunny. She's wild. Okay. All right. Now you know. And so ultimately what I hope during this crazy year is that I hope that this making class will bring you a moment of joy. It'll bring you some happiness. If you can, get your brothers or sisters or cousins involved, and doing art together is a great escape. I think that art, I'm a firm believer that art is therapeutic, and it can help you heal, and it can help bring some peace and some joy to your life in a year that's kind of crazy. So ultimately, that's what I hope you get out of this class, is some really cool art. And if you get to that moment where it's frustrating, take a break, take a break. Take a deep breath. Come back to it the next day, okay? All right, that's all I have for now, you guys. Stay safe out there and keep on making.